Coaching hires. Our favorites from this year's coaching cycle, 2024 coaching cycle. I have four, and I'm assuming that a lot of ours are going to overlap too.
I got
So,
three.
all right, awesome. I'll let you start off then, Aiden. You give us your favorite three coaching hires.
So I kind of like ranked them like one being my favorite and three being my least favorite out of three. But I would say three new hires out of the whole country. Like they're all very good. This might be kind of obvious, but like Kalen DeBoer, like he is bringing a lot of players over from Washington. He just brought like a backup quarterback, Austin Mack, I think his name was, over from Washington. Jalen Milroe in his second year in the system. I don't think it's going to change too much. They still have Tommy Reese, off OC, offense coordinator. Jalen Milroe, that kid's an athlete, can use his legs. And like, I really was not, I don't know about you guys, but I was not a Jalen Milroe fan going into the year. I thought he would kind of struggle. And it seems like 100 years ago, but he got benched even for Ty Simpson slash Tyler Buckner, which was a disaster. But some of the defensive players they added Damani Jackson. They have Deontay Lawson returning at linebacker, Malachi Moore returning at corner slash safety. They are losing Dallas Turner, their star edge rusher. They are losing some other guys like Justin at Boygby, at also D line. But I think they can, like, defensive players they've added, maybe not as good, can get over that hump. I just don't trust their wide receiver corps though. A lot of guys transferring out and not very much transferring in. That's of note. But for the coach specifically, I really like the Kalen DeBoer hire. Do you want me to go into my next one, or do you just want to like
Well,
rotate?
to comment on that, I believe Ryan Grubb is likely going to be the offense coordinator there that next year, but I think that proves your point even better.
Oh,
Like I think Ryan Grubb is even better than Tommy Reese,
sorry, I
more
totally
proven.
forgot.
But I think that proves your point even better, if that makes sense. Like I think he can. Jalen Milroe, right, big deep ball thrower. Michael Penix,
Like,
big deep ball thrower. I kind of like
look
that.
what Ryan Grubb did at Washington. Every week he made it a track meet. Like every week, Washington was scoring 40 to 50 points. Every week it was like just chucking it all over the place. So
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you can go to your next one.
I got Jed Fish going from Washington. Jed Fish going from Arizona to Washington to replace Kalen DeBoer. I'm a really big fan of Jed Fish, and this year just emphasized it for me with Arizona. Now I don't know; it's not confirmed right now if Noah Fifita and or Ted McMillan will stay or go to Washington. I think right now they're staying, but I wouldn't be surprised if like the spring portal opens, like the second portal window opens in the spring and they go there. But for now, for Washington, they do have to figure out their quarterback situation because like, do they even have like a notable one on their roster right now? Like, I think there's been like all of them have transferred out. So, um, obviously on defense they're losing Jabbar Muhammad to apparently the big rumor is he's going to Texas right now. I don't know if he's officially committed there yet. They're losing a couple notable D linemen and linebackers, but I know they're losing a lot of weapons. Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, and most notably Roma Dunze, and then Jack Westover entered the transfer portal, and so did Culp, the backup tight end. But for the coach specifically, I really like the culture Jed Fish is going to bring to Washington from Arizona.
I like that. I like that a lot. We're huge Jed Fish fans. I mean, we've been on his bandwagon since pretty much week three of this season. I don't know, week four. So, anyways, you got another one?
Yeah, third and final one. I have Fran Brown of Syracuse. I just really think he's killing it in the portal. Awesome, awesome recruiter. Like I said, going from Dino Babers to him is like a revelation because, again, Babers didn't know how to recruit for whatever reason. I really, I talked about them as a sleeper in the ACC, and I really think they can push for the 12-team playoff. Maybe just miss it, but I think like eight or not, a 7 to 9 wins is in well within range for this team. And I think like ACC championship is well within range. Like with UNC, North Carolina losing Drake May, they're going to take a step back most likely. Um, Florida State might be still Florida State, but they're losing a lot on offense and a lot on defense. So I really like Syracuse. And in turn, I really like Fran Brown is my third favorite head coach hire of this cycle. The other any like I don't really have any other ones as honorable mentions. Mike Elko with Texas A&M. If I'm going to do Texas A&M, I will throw out as an honorable mention. But other than that, I was just kind of lukewarm, like, whatever on them. But these three plus Mike Elko as an honorable mention, I really, really like.
Yeah, I like those all a lot. CD, you got your favorite coaching hires from this cycle?
Yeah, I couldn't really narrow it down to three. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna kind of, do three and like the impact that each one had. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but you'll see what I mean. So basically, the first, transaction, basically what it ended up being was, Kalen DeBoer for Judd Fish. I think both teams are very happy where they are right now with
Yeah,
that coaching hire compared to what it would have been. Obviously, DeBoer, we went into depth on him in our video if you want to go check that out. But I love what he's doing there with the staff recruiting. He lost Caleb Downs, he lost Proctor, Black, and Bond, and all those guys. They'll figure it out there at Bama. Like Courtney Morgan, he'll be able to assemble a very good roster there. And then Judd Fish, like Matthew mentioned, we've been on him for a while. Everything that Aiden said about him and what he can do there, it holds true. I really like what he did at Arizona, a very tough place to win at, and pretty quickly he ran. He won
yeah,
there with a guy that was Fafita, who was literally the backup quarterback, and he comes in and he uses those explosive weapons on that offense and really ignites a team. And that was a team that lost a ton to the portal, offensively and
oh yeah,
defensively, and they still managed to get better year by year there. I love that. The second one I'll go is the Indiana James Madison, right? You talk about Kirk Cignetti at Indiana and Bob Chesney at James Madison. Both those guys are just proven
I didn't
winners
even
wherever
think of
they've been at. I love what they're doing there. Kirk Cignetti, obviously at Indiana is a tough place to win at, very tough place to win at. But you know what? If anyone can do it and rally those boosters and the alumni and turn it from a basketball school to maybe a competitive football program in the Big Ten, I think Kirk Cignetti can. And obviously Bob Chesney, what he's done there, Holy Cross and in other places. We've talked about both those guys in our videos. We love them, and what they can do there at James Madison. And then lastly, I'll go with the Houston Tulane, you know, combo there with Willie Fritz and John Summerall. Willie Fritz already seeing dividends there at Houston with transfer portal, with coaching staffs, with some early recruiting for next year. And then obviously John Summerall, I love his transfer portal class he's putting together at Tulane. He won big at Troy very early. He
yeah.
knows what he's doing there to assemble a team in United City like New Orleans. I think both those guys are going to be fantastic fits where they are.
Yeah, I agree with every single one you said, and with every single one that Aiden said. I like those a lot. I'll give my four. Two of them are kind of like, hey, 1 month bias. Like they've done a lot in this first month. First one will
Yeah.
be Fran Brown, which Aiden already mentioned.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely dynamic in the transfer portal, acquiring talent and coaching staffs. Second one would be Mike Elko, what he's done, putting together that coaching staff that he has there with Colin Klein, Jay Bateman, Ish, Sean Spencer. I mean, people can disagree like how great of a staff that is. But you also bring in Tommy Moffitt too as your strength and conditioning coach, which is a big get as well. So
Yeah.
I think he's been doing a great job. And then the two ones that we haven't seen a ton yet because they're lower tier programs, quote unquote. Bronco Mendenhall with New Mexico. If you haven't
Ooh,
seen that video, I think we did a really good job breaking that one down
good one.
earlier. So if you're watching now, make sure you guys go check that out. Going to New Mexico, the Rocky Long years is what he's going to try to revive with that 3-3-5. And he's got New Mexico ties. He was a DC there for a couple years. I like the fit a lot. We talk about fit and like sometimes like you need a good coach to get a good fit. I think he kind of, sure it didn't work out Virginia, but I like I like Bronco Mendenhall here. And then the last one I'll give, there he is, his beautiful face, Scotty Walden for UTEP, the up and comer, young guy, 34 years old, absolutely insanely innovative offense when he was at Austin P and Assumption. So I like him, and so Ross even like he's just been dynamic offensively wherever he's gone. And that's what you kind of need. Like if you're a lower tier program like UTEP, you're not going to be able to get like the really great Power Five coordinator to go be your head coach there. There's bigger jobs for those guys. You got to get the young guys. You got to get them while you got to catch them on their incline while they're going up. So hopefully he gets a couple good years there.
Can
And
I ask you a question quick?
yeah,
I know this is kind of off topic, but like this just came to my mind. This happened a couple days ago, so I want to get your thoughts on it. What's your thoughts on Diego Pavia transferring to Vanderbilt? Do you think that's a good landing spot?
I mean, I don't know about good. I'm not sure that being the Vanderbilt quarterback is a great landing spot for anyone. hence why
Yeah.
AJ Swan and Ken Seals transferred out of there. But I do think with the dynamic legs and the
Yeah.
playmaking ability with lesser talent around him, I think I don't know. I don't know how he'll fare against SEC talent. I mean, he did well against Auburn when he played Auburn
Yeah.
this year. So
Was he at New Mexico or New Mexico State?
New Mexico State. Yeah. Sorry if
Okay.
I said New Mexico, but
Was he good there? I didn't really follow him much.
yeah, he was good this year. I think in past like a lot of turnovers. But that's just what's gonna happen when you're playing with lesser talent. We saw it with AJ
Yeah.
Swan. Vanderbilt fans were so upset. And you saw
Yeah.
LSU how quickly they were to swoop up AJ Swan because the talent is there, right? But he's working with so much, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
he got
That's a
really good
really good
receivers
man.
at Vanderbilt, but the offensive line was
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
jump in here. It makes sense, a lot of sense for Diego Pavia. First of all, you're following your head coach, Jerry Gill. He's doing an off the field role
Oh
at
yeah.
Vanderbilt. So obviously there's that good
And other
relationship
coaches
there.
too. There's like several
Yeah. Other
coaches.
ones.
Yep. And also you're getting a Vanderbilt degree, which is, for some of these kids is more important than anything. If the NFL
That's
future is
pretty
not
big.
quite your
Yeah.
thing, that's a great idea too for Pavia. And then for Vanderbilt, why not? You're bringing in also a guy like Nate Johnson, uber talented, very
Oh
raw
yeah.
guy from Utah who comes in and maybe, with Pavia, you can kind of bridge him, get him immaculated, and then you can really take off.
Yeah. If
So
you want
yeah,
to talk about a quarterback who can really run, like Nate Johnson ran a lot at Utah last year.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
With
because he had to. Because he
yeah.
had to.